Hey everybody! Today, Rahdo runs down Fertility, which is a tile laying game where 2 to 4 players are governors in ancient Egypt responsible for the well-being and prosperity of the people. And the way it works is, on your turn, the first thing you're going to do is take one of the 3 tiles in your own little personal queue and expand the development on the randomly generated board here. At the beginning of the game, we're starting out here in the center. One of my 3 tiles is going to be placed adjacent to this. And I'm going to harvest resources depending on how I place my tile. And let's see, what am I going to do? I think for starters, I will take this tile that potentially produces alabaster and papyrus, and I will put it like this. Now, what has happened is every icon that is next to one of the icons I just placed produces. So since I just put an alabaster here and this is an alabaster, that little connection generates me 1 alabaster. And let's see here. And that's it. This papyrus is just hanging out here in the middle of nowhere, so it's not going to produce anything. However, because I just covered up this papyrus area, alabaster area, I get a second alabaster. So that was my harvest. I got 2 alabaster. Now, the second thing you can do on your turn is, optionally, if you want to, you can purchase one of these shop tiles. And the cost is going to be the number up here in the top right corner. I have to give up any combination of resources I want to get these. 1 resource, 2 resource, or 1 resource. Now, I've only got 2 resources here. So what should I take? Well, if I'm going to take one, I probably want to take this or this because they both need alabaster. This one turns alabaster into 7 points. This one turns 2 alabaster into 7 points. It's not as good, but that's why it only costs 1 instead of 2. If I were to take this, I'd spend all alabaster and then I wouldn't have any to place on there. So I will actually, I think, go for this tile, and I will add it to my little province. I had to give up one of the only things I had, some alabaster, and now the last thing you do on your turn is you can supply the shops that are under your authority with the resources you have earned, because at the end of the round, any resources you have left over are lost, and that would be a terrible waste. So I will go on ahead and spend this 1 alabaster here, and that gives me a favor with one of the gods. That is a set collection element of the game. The more gods you have on your team at the end of the game, the more points. If you have all 6 unique gods, that's 40 points you could get. So I'm on my way for an early god fearing strategy, I suppose. And then at the end of the turn, I got to take one of these tiles that are on display to replace, and I really need to think about how I'm going to expand in the future. I know now that I need grapes to get these 4 points here, but none of these 3 tiles have grapes. However, let's see. So there's an alabaster papyrus. See, I've already got a couple of cattle and alabaster papyrus. I don't think I'll get another one of those. I will get, I guess, a cattle and papyrus. We'll see how that goes. And then new stuff comes out. Ooh, a double alabaster and a shop that doesn't cost anything. Okay, and that was my whole turn. The game goes very, very quick. If I were to play another, now Jen, she might go. And looking at what I've left her, I think she's got a pretty good idea of what she wants to do. She will go on ahead and take this tile and place it right here. Remember, it has to extend from an existing, so she's extending off of what I've done, and look at what she's done. Her papyrus matches my papyrus, so that gives her 1 papyrus. And now this alabaster sitting off by itself doesn't do anything, but this space is also next to 2 wheat fields, so that gives her 2 wheat, which is worth, well, 4 points at the end of the game. But if she keeps on earning more and more wheat and never using it, she could have 40 points from that. And the nice thing about wheat is, unlike regular resources, which if you don't use them, you lose them at the end of the turn, wheat you can hold on to from round after round. Okay, so Jen has gotten 2 wheat, 1, 2, plus papyrus. She'll go on ahead and buy this shop for free. She's not complaining about that. And now, although all this wants is cattle, converting cattle into wheat. Jen doesn't have that, but this might mean she's going for a big wheat strategy. How do I know that? Well, the 1 papyrus she got, she'll go on ahead and supply this shop, which gives her another wheat. She's up to 7 points worth of wheat now. Okay, and then at the end of the turn, she's got to replace a new one. And let's see, she'd like to get some cattle generating tiles, so she'll probably go ahead and take this one, because this tile, these 3 shops are going to need cattle. And then again, new stuff comes out. And it is my turn again. And that is the flow of this game, folks. It is very fast, very quick, always trying to look for opportunities. Like, here's a really nice opportunity I set up for myself. On my next turn, if I go like this, hey, an alabaster and a papyrus and a wheat. 3 resources off of 1 tile placement. It doesn't get much better than that normally. That is pretty nice. But there are other things you can go for as well. Maybe I wanted to use this alabaster, say, right here, because I would get an alabaster and I'd get some cattle. Maybe that's what I needed to fulfill my shops. But that would be a dangerous move, because on Jen's turn, she could say, well, what would she do? She might go like this. And this might not be that great at first glance because, oh, she got a grape, but the grape doesn't match that papyrus. But whenever a player completely surrounds a given place, they have a special option for that. They can take any resource they want, or they can deploy one of their monuments. And whoever has the most monuments deployed at the end of the game scores a cool 15 points. 7 points for second. So getting those monuments out can be a huge point getter as well. But that's only going to happen if some other player sets you up because they're desperate to do something else. That's the flow of fertility. It keeps going until all of the tiles have entered play, and then you tally up however much wheat you have left over, if you did monuments, your gods, and whatever shops you were able to supply with important resources throughout the game. Folks, this is a really, really sharp tile layer. Jen and I are very impressed by it. I have to admit, when I first went in, I thought, this is probably just going to be like a light little gateway. This is going to be something along the lines of a Ticket to Ride in terms of depth and complexity. But I got to say, as this board fills up more and more, and you're desperate to get the right types of tiles to fulfill the shops you need, or, sometimes you'll end up, putting tiles up because, oh my gosh, this is a really great opportunity, but then you don't have any shops to use those resources, and the resources get lost at the end of the round. There is so much tension, and every turn you are taking, you're trying to maximize what you're putting on the board, but you're also so acutely aware that you are creating potentially even bigger turns for your opponent. Whoever goes next could really piggyback off of what you did. The turn angst in this game is delicious. Very tight, very tense, but a really simple, clean, easy, elegant game to play. Super quick, all the way right up to the end. It's just incredibly tense with really strong, distinct, different paths to victory, and really wonderful, just kind of came out of nowhere, sharp tile laying gameplay. That, folks, is the rundown on fertility, and thanks very much for watching. Have a very, very nice day. Talk to you later. So long. Bye-bye.